Don't you worry none!
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're delving into the darkest depths of gaming to bring you the 10 best bosses in horror video games. For this list, we're going over the boss encounters that best delivered with both their scares and their gameplay. Did we miss an obvious nightmare-inducing virtual monstrosity? Let us know in the comments.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Eddie Gluskin, Outlast, Whistleblower.
It won't take long. A few snips of the flesh here and here. Cut away everything vulgar.
Say what you will about the rampaging Chris Walker or the phantasmic Wall Rider, nothing in Mount Massive Asylum is as disturbing as Mr. Gluskin. A psychotic killer obsessed with finding the perfect wife and starting a family, Eddie Gluskin has mutilated and strung up numerous patients during his incarceration. And naturally, the player character is next on his list of possible brides-to-be.
You make yourself a gift for me. A delicacy to be unwrapped and unwrapped again and savored.
After narrowly avoiding getting their intimate regions taken off with a saw blade, players had to duck and dodge Gluskin's ongoing pursuit until, with a fair bit of struggling, they were able to turn the tables on him. It's a brutal divorce that made this DLC worth every penny.
I want a family, a legacy, to be the father I never had. I'll never let anything happen to our children.
Laura, the evil within. Take two of the scariest enemy tropes in horror, spiders and possessed little girls, smash them together, and you've got Laura. Everything about Laura is just unsettling. From the way she emerges from corpses, how she crawls after us with her numerous flaying appendages, not to mention her immunity to bullets, every moment she hunts after us is hellish. Thankfully, her weakness to fire can be exploited in numerous ways throughout the level. Maybe we're being a bit too harsh. After all, her backstory really is tragic and... No, can't do it, too scary. Burn her again, Sebastian! The Countess, Darkest Dungeon.
The Countess arrives, anomalous in aspect, and bent on exacting terrible revenge.
This merciless gothic RPG threw no shortage of depraved, disgusting, and sanity-rendering creatures our way, but it was the final boss of its Crimson Court DLC that amped up both the difficulty and the revulsion. The creature responsible for the Crimson Curse, the Countess is an amalgamation of aristocrat, vampire, and mosquito, with the fight against her being as challenging as she is ugly. Darkest Dungeon has never been one to hold back when it comes to the gruesomeness of its monsters, but this bloodsucker takes the cake.
Where I failed, you have succeeded, and the world is better for it.
Expósito, Scion of Abjuration, Blasphemous. Horror is baked into the bones of this Souls-like, and with its rogues gallery of terrifying bosses inspired by Catholic iconography, we had no problem including whatever this is. Out of everything the Penitent One has faced, we'd say battling against a giant blindfolded baby held up by a wicker woman certainly ticks all the WTF boxes. Throw in a human-faced snake creature that guards the infant, and you've got a bout that will certainly test your parry skills. That is, if the imagery of an unholy child weeping blood in the background doesn't throw you off your game. Marguerite Baker, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard.
I got you! Don't you worry none!
The Baker family are all delightfully disgusting in their own way, but it's the matriarch that really flipped our stomachs, and not just because of her cooking. Infected by Evelyn, Marguerite was twisted into a murderous, insane bioweapon with a fondness for vomiting insects on her victims. If that wasn't bad enough, when pushed into a corner, she goes full arachnid, extending her limbs, crawling on the ceiling, and now sporting a hive on her nether regions. She doesn't go down without a fight, but after everything she put us through, we were more than happy to help Ethan pump her full of lead. Xenomorph, Alien, Isolation.
It's about your mother. We think we may have found her, Amanda.
Unlike her mother, Amanda Ripley doesn't have the luxury of a power loader or marine weaponry. The only thing she, and by extension us, can hope to do against an uber-intelligent, relentless alien is to run, hide, and hold our breath. Isolation's take on the Xenomorph is a masterstroke of horror, borderline immune to damage, highly sensitive to sound and movement, and all too eager to catch us off guard in one of those insta-kill animations. By the time we finally launched it into space, many a nerve had been shredded. The Baby, Resident Evil Village. Can't tell what's more disturbing, the fact that giant misshapen children make for such prevalent bosses in horror games, or that Ethan Winters has the worst luck when it comes to family drama. Trapped inside a literal house of horrors, we're subjected to numerous illusions ranging from creepy mannequins to living dolls. But nothing, and we do mean nothing, compares to the abject terror of watching a giant screaming fetus monster slither out of the darkness. With nowhere to fight back, the only option is to, once again, run, hide, and get that damn elevator working. Not sure how Capcom is going to top this in Resident Evil 9, but it's going to be a hell of a hurdle, because this thing is haunting. Pyramid Head, Silent Hill 2. The retro poster boy of horror games, Pyramid Head's iconic look cemented itself as a creature of dread from the get-go. Its fondness for beheading people with its colossal knife and having its wicked way with corpses didn't help either. What truly elevated Pyramid Head to legendary status was the reveal that it was a creature conjured by James's guilty conscience after the mercy killing of his dying wife, just so he could have someone to punish him for his sins. That's twisted on an ethereal level, not to mention the final encounter with two of them makes for a grisly challenge. The Hunter, Dead Space.
Convergence is so close. Maybe your death will tip the balance.
While every necromorph engineer Isaac Clarke encountered was horrifying, at the very least their limbs could be snatched off with a few well-placed shots from the plasma cutter. The Hunter is the terrifying exception to the rule. Able to regenerate any lost limbs, this man-made monster will hunt Isaac all over the Ishimura. As bad as he was back in his heyday, the 2023 remake has given the Hunter a fresh coat of paint, a grisly backstory, and a second chance to scare the hell out of a new generation of gamers.
I'd say you've chosen your side.
Ludwig, the Accursed, Bloodborne.
Have mercy. Have mercy upon us.
No one does boss battles better than From Software, and they aren't exactly slouches when it comes to conjuring up monsters that can truly unnerve you. Enter Ludwig, the pinnacle of their deranged creativity. What was once a noble soul is now a mesh of beast, blood, and misshapen limbs, all contorted together in such a way you'd swear it was born out of a Lovecraftian fever dream. The fact his second phase has him tap back into his former life as a warrior just adds to the impact. His time was fleeting, but the impression Ludwig made is likely never going to be forgotten by fans of the genre.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.